Well, it's just gone 6 o'clock on Wednesday the 24th of February. Me and the Team Durham press scholar, Matthew Walters, are sat next to the netball court. We've just witnessed Durham's netball wands defeat Nottingham in their Premier League playoff. They've won 53-27. And Matthew, that was quite a convincing win, wasn't it?
It was, and there was a great kind of composure about the team. I don't think they started quite as they wanted to. They were slightly slow out of the blocks, if you like, but they gained their momentum and they played with a great deal of confidence, and obviously a lead that almost stretches to 30 points is very important in a two-legged tie, and they can travel to Nottingham next week with a great deal of confidence, and it looks good for them.
That's right. Well, yep, an excellent 53-27 victory, and after the match I spoke to Marie Ewing, their player coach. 53-27, the final score. That gives you a commanding lead to take into the second leg.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, really good game, a good score.
Was there a certain sort of winning margin you set yourselves? Because obviously this is the home leg, a bit of an advantage. You had a bit of a crowd here as well.
Yeah.
Did you sort of say 25 points-ish, that's the sort of lead you want going down to Nottingham?
No, we kind of set ourselves a target going into the last quarter, obviously because we'd gained quite a bit of a lead, and I just felt that going into the third quarter we were looking a little bit sloppy, so just to make sure we keep momentum, making sure we really put ourselves in a good position for next week when we play them away, because you never know what it's like down there with their umpires and their home venue. So.
But confident going through over the two legs?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Right, well, before the netball, we watched the men's hockey twos take on Loughborough University's twos. So obviously big rivals of Durham. And Durham were very much underdogs coming into this quarter-final Bucks Trophy clash. But they emerged 3-0 victors. And Matthew, this really was a fantastic result, wasn't it?
You could see from the reaction of the players at the end that it really meant something to them. And it was a real blood and guts kind of performance. It's not that Durham dominated possession, they didn't. Loughborough had a great deal of possession. They had the lion's share, really, and it was a case of Durham sitting back, soaking up pressure and hitting them on the counter-attack, and the 3 goals that were scored by Durham were all on the counter-attack, and I think in the later stages of this competition that ruthlessness going forward will really prove an asset for Durham.
Well, that's right. You mentioned the joy on the faces of the players. They were jubilant come the final whistle, and after they'd settled down and had a few huddles to psych themselves up for the semi-finals, I spoke to captain Simon Clapham. Right, well, I was speaking to one of your players before the game, and he told me that you were definitely the underdogs going into this against your rivals from Loughborough. Yeah, you've come out with a 3-0 victory. You must be absolutely delighted with that.
Absolutely ecstatic. I mean, our ones lost 4-0 last week against their ones. We just won 3-0. Couldn't be happier.
What'd you put it down to?
Just hard work, guts and determination. All of our players ran for 70 minutes, and that's what gave us the game.
And looking ahead now, your cup run could have ended today. Like we say, you weren't favourites going into the game, but now you're in the semi-finals. Could you go all the way?
Definitely.
Well, before the hockey got underway, over on the rubber crumb, the women's lacrosse twos were taking on Oxford twos. Now, the ones had already beaten Oxford the week before, so Oxford came here looking for a little bit of revenge. Unfortunately, though, they didn't get it. The women's lacrosse twos won 15-4. And Matthew, this was yet another very convincing performance from one of Durham's lacrosse sides.
It was a very fluid performance, especially in front of goal. I mean, the Durham lacrosse teams do tend to score large amounts in their games, and I think it's something that's instilled by their coach, Emily Blatter. She works hard in attacking terms with the teams to ensure that they are as clinical as possible. And in defence too, I mean, there were times when Oxford really pressed them, really made them work hard defensively, played a very physical game, and yet Durham rose to the challenge, and it all looks very promising in that respect.
It does. They, of course, now move into the semi-finals of the trophy competition. Afterwards, I spoke to their captain, Katie Forbes, and I began by asking her how she felt after that match.
Very good. It was quite convincing. It was a much tougher match than last week, so it's given us good preparation to go into the next round.
Your thoughts before the game? How did you feel you could do as well as you did coming into the game?
Yeah, well, we'd heard lots of different rumours that they weren't coming. They didn't have a goalie. They were coming with one less person, so we were kind of chilled out about it. They turned up full team, so suddenly worry was oh dear, we're going to lose. But I think just maintained positive attitude, and we ended up doing a good job.
And semi-finals next week. Are you confident you can make the way up to final?
I really want to. We don't know yet. I'll have to go home and see who we meet. It's either Nottingham ones or Loughborough Tuesday. I think on this performance we can definitely do it.
Well, elsewhere there were two excellent results for the men's lacrosse wands and the women's hockey wands, who both reached the Bucks Championship finals to be held in Sheffield in a couple of weeks' time. The men's basketball wands won again, this time in Stirling in the playoff in their league, and the men's tennis twos were 7-3 victors over Sheffield wands to reach the semi-finals of the trophy. So Matthew, yet another fantastic day for Team Durham. How do you see, also a couple of teams through to the finals, the men's lacrosse wands and the women's hockey wands, both with realistic chances of winning?
Absolutely. I mean, the men's lacrosse ones have been terrific all season, flamboyant, entertaining, really penetrating in their play, and it will be fantastic to see them take on really top-level opposition in Sheffield. As for the women's hockey ones, they've been terrific too in recent weeks. And we always knew that was going to be an important litmus test, if you like, to go and play against a team of Loughborough's calibre and to see how they would measure up. And they've come out 2-1 victors today, and it's looking very promising in terms of going to Sheffield too. So a lot to look forward to.
That's right. Well, thank you very much, Matthew. We will be in Sheffield in 2 weeks' time for the Bucks Championships finals. Until then, we can hope then that Team Durham's great form this season